in this live coding recording, you're going to see me wrestle internally with the desire to do some manual deterministic refactoring when I'm using an AI for the other stuff. So why shouldn't I let it do the smaller refactorings as well? And will it be, in fact, a little bit faster to let it drive? Phew, all right, after a bit of camera trouble, yeah, I made it finally. Half an hour late. In the end, I had to restore my OBS settings from a backup and change the camera to a different camera and back again. So it goes. Welcome to computers. Hi, folks. Sorry to keep you. Glad to see you here. For folks who are joining after the fact, hey, congratulations, you don't have a delay. And you get the benefit of being able to increase the playback speed to 1.5 or 2x or however fast you want me to talk. So congratulations. My name is John Reed. I am a coach, technical coach, and an iOS developer. And John and M. Combs and Mudshark are here. Awesome. All right, let's try to figure out what the heck is going on. Before I do anything, one thing I want to do is reset. Actually, let's go over here. What did we do last time? Leaning more strongly into using cursor, in my case, could be anything else. At work, I'm using Windsurf and feels very similar to cursor, but has some nice features around the interaction. Sort of the UI elements are pretty good. But anyway, having some success using it at work and here for the live stream where we're learning how to do this stuff. One of the things we learned last time was that we can ask it to find law of Demeter violations, which was pretty cool. I still feel awkward about navigating. Like, I feel like if I'm looking at a thing, let's say feedback, that, doggone it, I want to open up feedback. And I can't, and it feels awkward to have to say, hey, go find feed. It's weird to me. And maybe you have some tricks. Maybe I'm missing something on that front. We've had some success with AI generated commit messages. That's nice. Also, we could say command click or control click. That's what I tried. Let's give it a go. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is. Yeah, it's all sort of weird. We did last time we told it, commit and push, like just do it. And it worked out pretty well. I did update my Z shell path, so hopefully that'll go better today. One thing I want to do is actually tweak the rule settings a little bit. I think most of these application stack always apply. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how valuable all these rules are. At work, I just copied over the Kent Beck's rules, and they are working pretty well. So I want this to always apply. Self-improve. I don't know if this does anything. I have no evidence that any of these do anything. I'm going to turn some of these off. Well, hello, Tommy. This one, yeah, manual, commit messages. I think it can figure out based on description. Oh. Describe the task. Let's do that. Application stack. I really don't know if this does anything. Haha, yeah, it's all done. At my snail's pace. Okay, so made changes. The main thing I wanted is to say always apply Kent's rules. They are working pretty nicely. So let's commit this. And let's open a new chat. I did have trouble in a long-running ChatGPT conversation where it just seemed to keep going, and I asked it, I'm writing a new blog post or creating a new video. Is it okay to keep going? Because you know a lot of stuff about how I like to word things and my voice. It got pretty good at reproducing my voice. And so I'm like, okay, let's make a new video. And I think I shared this last time. Eventually it lost its freaking mind. That was my first experience of blowing the context window. So I'm a little more shy about that. There is a way to, I learned a trick to save the context window, or rather I asked it for a trick on how to save the context window. Let me see if I can remember. I won't do it now, but basically it was make a summary of stuff and then copy that and paste it into a new one. But here, let's just start afresh. Let's create a new chat. Did I create a new chat? Yes. And let's see what we're up to. We are, Tommy, we are still working on, oh my gosh, I feel like it's been forever to get multiple rounds showing. It actually, you know, because my streams are so short in duration, they used to be an hour and a half, now they're just 1 hour. The reality is these multiple sessions, if we were working together, it would be faster because you could give input more clearly. We'd be rotating who's on the keyboard, and it would be a lot more fun. But realistically, even if I've been going for, say, 5 sessions on this stuff, well, that's a day, right? That's a day of coding. So it's not that much. But what are we trying to do here? Draw the empty guesses for multiple rounds, trying to do many of one. Need more than one set of feedback pegs, move feedback pegs into round. We sort of did that. Have round manage its own number. That was an idea we had, and I don't know how important it is. Should be able to control click to jump to a definition in VS Code. Somebody got it to work again by disabling all extensions. Oh, it's like my camera trouble. Turn it off. Did you turn it off and turn it on again? The IT crowd. So let's look at the code. And I'm going to fall back here for the sake of navigation. So rounds is an aggregate of round. It has a sense of the current round number, which is only 0. But I don't think anybody is using this. No, it doesn't. So this is pointless. That's really dead code. I mean, we probably want something like this, but right now it's dead. So should we just get it out of there? It's confusing me. Yeah. Oh, looks like GitHub Copilot changed a little bit in adding animations or something. So rounds initialized to a set of rounds for some reason. It's like, and the current round. So it's really not super interesting other than hiding rounds as an array. What's in round? Round has the feedback pegs. It's a naked var, which I don't like. But this was the big task, was moving the feedback pegs in. Here's the heart of the matter. We've got a round view. Where's this used? Okay. So here's our, for each of 0, the round number in a game. Why are we passing in the game? Can't we pass in the game and the round number? No, this is just a round view. So the round view itself. Okay, so it uses the game for various things. It shows the round number, or rather, yeah, we can try it and see. Except that we'll have to fix this up. So we've got hard-coded zeros. And code guess view. So the round number is correctly incremented to a human number. We've got some duplication here and here. Let's see about this duplication first. That's the accessibility. Oh, that's the text. Okay. And that's the ID. Guess 1, guess 2. So if I do something nutty like this, just break it, or like that, I expect this to fail. Ooh, I've got TCR on. If it passes, okay, phew, it failed. Okay, So that's good. Well, not TCR proper, it didn't revert. So if we pass in round number here, and here, that should pass because we only have the 0th one. It doesn't. Woo! It blew up. It done blowed up. Wow. Feel like I should just turn on full TCR. There we go. Right. Thank you. Yep. So, make SAT of round 1 is making a single instance with its own idea of the round number, but that's not the same thing as looking it up and associating it with a specific set of rounds that is managed by a game. So that seems to be the next thing we need to do. There's still some fiddling about, and I keep thinking about how all this was sort of an experiment in learning how to do TDD from the UI in, sort of from the outside in. And I think we're feeling the pain of that, where a lot of this I think would have gone a lot more smoothly if we had created a game engine that can play a full game but doesn't know anything about the UI, and then sort of bolt the UI on top of that. That's something I've been thinking about. Okay, so if it needs a game with multiple rounds, we should be able to set that up in the test. Make SUT. How do the rounds get in? There's still so many the responsibilities for who's in charge still feels slippery, and that maybe game needs to be more in control of things. Specifically, who is calling this? Game is based on the secret size, setting the number of rounds, it seems. Oh, this is an array of a single round. Is that right? Yeah. That's a problem. We've got hidden sort of hidden knowledge that there's only one round. And it's sort of here and there, and it's shotgun surgery. to try to fix this thing. Ooh, what to do? Well, we can just make 10 of them, I suppose. There's no requirement that at this time that the number of rounds be dynamic. You know, I could see, an advanced game, you get fewer rounds, less chances to win, and a beginner game conceivably, but that also changes the UI, blah blah blah. Why don't we? We need at least 2, but I'd like 10. Okay. And does it have a sense of how many rounds there are? Or is this even the right way to do it? Shouldn't the rounds be created themselves based on, like, here's the secret size. Okay. Mm-hmm. And if we say we require 10, how will we test it? That's the TDD question. Is it's JitterTed's question. How will we know? Yeah. Let it create itself. We shouldn't. This is too fiddly. Too much stuff. Too much knowledge spreading around, slopping around. So if we imagine that we say, make yourself from a certain size, then we could hold on to that size. All right. Let's update the board. I'm going to pull this off as a note for now. I think a note. And I'm going to change this. Let's move this up. Because move feedback pegs into round is done. We got that. What I want is set up game with 10 rounds in game. So more than one set of feedback pegs, I think, is okay. Oh, look at that. I mean, it's sort of like that. With my colors, it bothers me. We sort of come back to the problem in the first place. So let's say many of this loop is not correct. Maybe I'm going to change this just to make it manageable. Part one. Yep. Let's do that. I agree that that is a better place to start. Move creation of single round into rounds. That makes a lot of sense. Whoop. There we go. Sometimes I find that a discovery tree, and this happened when I was on a team that was using a discovery tree, things would just sort of grow and sometimes get chaotic. And I took the role occasionally of, you might say, librarian, where I'd be like, you know what, we need to curate this thing. It needs to tell a better story of where we are, what we are working on, and what the next step is. And so that feels a little more sane to me, because all this is like, let's celebrate all this good stuff we did here. Yay. Okay. With that, I don't feel a great desire to have this be AI driven or AI augmented, because I feel like, yeah, that's pretty trivial, should be easy. The main reason I wanted to use the LLM was to supply refactoring moves that Xcode didn't give me. But maybe this is another one. Maybe this is another one. Okay. So I just talked myself into doing this. So looking at game, I believe. Yep. I also still want the indicator here. Start every response. Thank you. Prefix every response to me with. It's funny. The first thing it did was throw up invalid, looks like invalid characters. We are refactoring. I want the creation of rounds to manage the creation of the round array of round. And something else I learned from the windsurf tutorial was, and windsurf seems to be like specifically designed for this. Plan the work, don't code yet. Ugh. Hang on. Fix your prefix emoji. Uh, oh, there it goes. Look at that. Did, did, did. And then it figured it out. Okay. Let's see. Game creates a rounds. Yes. I don't want to spend time analyzing it. I've already done the analysis. Modify the rounds initializer from accepting a round to accepting secret size and number of rounds. That sounds good. Structural changes, behavioral changes? No, those aren't behavioral changes. Okay, this is one thing that I'm starting to understand about the way LLMs have been trained. Is just because you give it Kent-Beck's definitions of this is a structural change and this is a behavioral change, because it has been trained on a world of code and commits that don't follow tidy first principles, it doesn't really understand the difference between a structural change and behavioral change. I forget. I think this was at work where it started to say, I'm going to make these structural changes, and they were actual behavioral changes. And I'm like, no, 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 no. A structural change is a refactoring. A behavioral change is a feature or a fix. You know, I had to say that. Yeah. So ignoring all that, would you like me to proceed with implementing these structural changes first, following the TDD cycle? Ignore phase 2. Start phase 1. Let's see what it does. And it loses its emoji again. Okay, it's passing in the secret size. And let's see if, there we go, the path worked. And it looks like all tests are passing. That's good enough for me. I'm gonna just nudge it to say use the commit messages, or maybe maybe it'll figure it out, because that was my goal of saying apply the rules for commits are, you should figure it out, but it's commit messages. Give me a commit message. Ah, it figured it out. Let me fetch. That's good. Okay. So that's one round. I do want it to pass in multiple rounds. And maybe that should be a parameter on the game itself. This we can do as a refactoring by saying make it just hard-coded 1 to start with. Let's do that. Add a number of rounds parameter to the rounds init. For now, game should set this, should pass in 1. I don't trust it. And yet, maybe, let's see what it does. Yeah, I like the idea of having it configurable. Kind of like right now, the secret size itself is still configurable. What did it do? I think it's... See, it added a parameter, but I don't see... let's say keep... Maybe this is cursor versus windsurf. I expected to be able to review what are the other... Like, you changed rounds, right? Mm-hmm. So it made this other change, but it didn't ask me to review it, which I find a little funny. I'm also think this is not the correct way, not the best way to create an array of rounds. Passing in a range to a map and then ignoring it, the round number. Maybe each round can hold on to its round number that way, if that matters. We don't know if it matters yet. But maybe this is fine. I'm going to trust its commit message. It's not bad. And it's faster than me typing it. There are some areas where using AI is making me faster and others where it's making me slower. Review change is 17%. Context usage. Oh, I've never noticed this. This might be a new feature. So this is the thing we can keep our eye on to say, are we about to blow the context window or not? Hopefully this turns a color, like when it gets up too close in the 90s, it's red and hopefully it's yellow. Who knows if they do that kind of thing. Like response, dislike response. So let's pass in the number of rounds to the game. Add number of rounds to game initializer of in tests. I'll just say set it to 1 because that'll match what we have. See, what about the other files? Hello? I know you changed other files on me. I want to see what they are. Didn't you? Did you set it to... No. I want it to be explicit. Don't use... I mean, this is not a bad start. Actually, I should just commit this. It works. But I'm going to remove this right here. What did it commit? Yeah. Remove the default value of 1. Let's try it. Because now it should go through and have to update the app, the tests, probably some other, the game screen tests potentially. Yeah, various places. So what can we see here? Let's examine this UI a bit more. Oh, hello. Fair number of other folks have joined. Welcome. We are working on an iOS app using SwiftUI, doing test-driven development, and trying to lean into using, right now, trying to lean in harder into using an LLM augmented coding to make the changes for me. Now, it made all these things. So what does this show? Yes, this is me getting to know the UI a bit better. So there's our change. It removes this. So I expect number of rounds 1 to be in various places now. Like there. The tests. The app. That's the composition root that actually starts, launches things. Some round view tests. Anyway, everything passes. And I'm using Arlo's commit notation. I have, this is a quick catch up for any folks who are here. I have various rules, but I'm using 2 sets in particular. Most of this other stuff seems to be noise. I set it up as an experiment based on somebody's recommendation, and I'm not impressed with, like, improve yourself. No. I'm more impressed with Kent Beck's rules about following the principles of test-driven development and separating refactoring from behavioral changes. Get his book, by the way. It's really good. Very small. And the other one that I'm using and have set apply intelligently on. So Kent's rules, it's like always apply. Commit messages apply for commit messages, and this is following Arlo Belshi's commit notation. So I should be able now to say commit and push. And there's the commit message. It is a procedural refactoring verified by tests. Okay. With that, where was it? what test was it? Was it the rounds tests? Was it the game tests? Where we had a number of rounds. Oh, look at that. That shouldn't be there either. Let's remove that first. So in in rounds, remove the default argument. Callers should use whatever number of rounds they already have. This is a good exercise for me in that I wanted to make these changes by hand because I thought that'll be easier. There's also a part of me that is a little worried about the research that shows that the less you, the more you rely on AI, the dumber you become. But there's a certain sense in which that's okay. For example, as an analogy, I never learned to drive stick. I've always had augmented shifting. And so if you put me in a car that has manual stick shift, I would only know the ideas. I wouldn't know the physical execution. I mean, I can tell you what they are, but my body doesn't know them. And in the same way, part of me is a little worried that, like, will I forget how to code? But we are doing small, bounded steps of AI, letting it be the refactoring engine and expressing higher level intent. That's still programming. To be able to say, remove this, add it wherever we need it. Let's review what it did. Where are the changes? That's it. That doesn't make sense. That is not. Well, there it is. I think it was already using it. So I expected this, like, maybe to be 1, but it looks like it's already doing the same thing, the right thing. Okay. By the way, in case anybody has to run off, I forgot to mention this at the beginning. Next 2 Sundays, I'm going to be gone, out. So I'll mention that again at the end for anyone who's still here. And I'll update the calendar. That is true. It is. There's the reason trunk-based development works isn't because you won't by push fast, get the changes in. It doesn't mean there are no errors. It means any errors are quick to fix, and you're trusting that someone somewhere is running the damn app. And I haven't. So let's. Here's Mastermind. Doot, doot, doot. 1 right in the right position, 1 in the wrong position. And our round number of 1. Hooray. uh, hmm, I feel like this just should be private. Let's see if it'll let us do this. Good. This is an, if it compiles, it's fine. So it's very low risk. It's a dot instead of an arrow. Make property private and immutable. Well, it's not exactly immutable. Did we add a placeholder for a round number in round? And that could go, like this is the round number here. It's being ignored. So we don't have that. We could have that. I think there was something about we wanted, expected it to be able to, that would be helpful for a round to know its round number. I don't mind putting it in. Round view. That's it. Round view shouldn't need the round number. Should that? Well, thank you. Let's do that. Oh, this has an old potential violation. I think we can get rid of that. Okay, so let's do that. Have round, remember it's zero indexed round number. Let's do it. I'm keeping an eye on this. I expect this to change. So first it updated round. There it goes. Oh, why the heck did it do that? Undo. Let's review all the things. Yeah, I think windsurf is a little bit better on the review part. It shows here undo or keep on the one file. And yes, I want to keep that. But I have to go and look at the others here to see what did it do on round. Okay, round number. That's fine that it's exposed. Rounds we saw, round tests, secret tests, feedback tests. Okay. So I just had to undo the one thing where it's like it really wanted to expose the property for some reason. All right. Now round view. You know what I'm going to do? Mudshark, I'm going to just copy and paste like that. Let's see what it does. Guess round. Whoa, what's all this? Ay. The guess is the round. Right. Thank you. I was like, what the heck? What the heck is guess? Um, in which case, it's probably good. Round number. Still got that duplication. Should be able to change that to a different property that's like, what's the human readable round number? It's still working, apparently. This is the thing, you know, I must say that AI coding has changed a lot, and I've been using it fairly lightly. You're watching me learn how to use it. And what a difference this break it into smaller steps agentic style has made. The fact that it will check itself, run the tests, um, determine what else. Yeah, I see there's a test failure. The issue is that the test is expecting different round numbers, but now round view always gets the round number from game rounds round, which is always round 0. A game with multiple rounds. Yeah. That's kind of what we were thinking about some time ago. Ooh, it added a comment. Disgusting. So if I click on the file, okay, if I click on the file here, I can get to the right stuff. All right. Let's say keep everything in here. Can I edit it directly and then say keep that? That's cool. But now round number seems to be unnecessary. Yes, I think so. Or did it get rid of it? Can't see. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Round index, round number. All right. Well, it got everything passing. That's good. Now I want to come and do an actual rename here. Code guess view. Oh, shoot. This is going to be tricky. Here, I was just going to say, let's rename it. But I know from experience that because this has an implicit initializer, it will not rename the thing that's calling code guess view when it should pass in a round, not a guess. So let's have it do the change for us. I sigh a little bit because I feel a little less useful. I want to do my deterministic changes, but you know what? Rename it in code guess view, rename the guess property to round. There it goes. And there it did it. Was that easier than me adding an initializer, doing a rename on the inside and a rename on the outside, and then potentially removing the initializer? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But we have the confidence, unlike other folks who are doing augmented AI, most other folks. I'm going to assume most because there aren't many extreme programmers out there. But that by working in small, bounded XP moves with a full suite of tests that are checking just about everything, and the one time they didn't, well, that happens. That gives me greater confidence that it's not going to screw up because it's able to run the tests and see, oh, shoot, I see, I'm blowing. It's got a hard-coded one round, and these tests are now dying. So oh, look at this. 2 of 5, wait. No, that's still the one file. That should just be round view. Okay. Well, well. What do you think? Not sure what to do with you. Take that as a silly joke instead of something bizarre. And I mean, it is bizarre. So I think this is done. We'll get 10 rounds going next time. What did we learn? What did we do? Fun fact, you don't need a Mac to learn Swift. Of course, you do need a Mac to do Mac development or iOS development, but you can start coding in Swift on a variety of platforms now. You just probably have to jump through some hoops to download stuff. So AI augmented refactoring. can be faster than multiple deterministic moves. I think that's a pretty big idea. Games for iOS. Go for it. What else did we learn? A little more about getting used to Cursor at least, but I'm tempted to get Windsurf. I'll say Windsurf is better at that's just my experience. What else? What else did we learn? What else did we experience? Here are the things, the commits we made in pretty short time. Look at those commit messages. Very clear. There's no guessing about what they are, or you know, it's not the lazy rename property, which this isn't a bad commit message as far as just like, I just need to get this in, but it doesn't say anything. What method? So finally, I'm getting a augmented commit messages, and it's doing a nice job with Arlo's notation. The Cursor figured out when to apply commit rules. Like, it just did that. It does it on its own, goes and looks up those rules. My, how coding is changing. Any other thoughts from the peanut gallery on stuff we did, stuff we learned? Going once, going twice. I feel like there's something else. Oh, I do want to say that bounding AI with XP steps works great. Yeah. All right. Thank you for joining. Sorry for the late start with the camera, but that's not an issue for folks who are watching after the fact. Do know, I'll repeat again that I'll be back on September 7th, so the next 2 weeks are off and away. Folks who have watched after the fact, especially on YouTube, train your algorithm. Give it push all the right buttons to say you want to see more of this stuff. Folks on Twitch, I invite you to subscribe, although don't do it yet. Wait till I come back. All right. Thank you so much. And I will enjoy my time off, and I will see you when I get back. Take care, everybody. Thank you.